So today we're going to paint a scene from the White Mountains. So we hiked the 4,000 footers, the 48, and we took quite a few pictures. So now we're going to try to turn some of these pictures into paintings. So this first one here is going to be the hike up Starr King Trail to Mount Waumbek. I'm going to start by laying in a little bit of Prussian blue into the sky. Very little on your brush. Wrong. There's my 2-inch brush. Here it is. Pull a little bit on the 2-inch brush here. Just a little bit. Work it into the canvas. Now you can, easy to put more on. It's very hard to take this back off. So work it in. It's just regular Prussian blue. Using a little crisscross stroke here. Starting from the top, working my way down. Get this in everywhere. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't want it to be perfect. You want that sky to be busy, active. Look at that. Scrub it in. And as it gets down towards the horizon here, you'll get a little lighter. The harder you push, the more paint comes off the brush. You push a little bit less, a little less paint will be on. When it gets down towards the horizon, you want that to be pretty white here. Okay? You can clean your brush off down here, don't matter. You need some blue down there anyway. Okay, I think I might just leave that just the way it is. All right, I'm going to clean the brush. I'll throw a few clouds in. I'm going to use a, number 6 fan brush here. I'm going to put that right here, right in this open spot. I have a little titanium white. Stick that right in there. Work it around. Let it go out. The clouds go out here somewhere. Just don't bring your dirty brush back in. Okay? Don't bring your dirty brush back into the center. Now, every time you do this, you're going to want to clean your brush. It's okay to bring some of the dirty stuff down here, but not back in the center. Clean that off. Wipe it down a little bit. Just wiping it off on a paper towel. A little bit more titanium white here. Right into where that cloud's going to be. A little sunset. And just work it. Work it right across the canvas. All right. And a nice little cloud formation here. All right, a little bit more, one more time. If you're used to building clouds a different way, do the way that you like. Make sure your brush is clean and dry. Say I'm wiping this out on a paper towel here. Okay, one more time. Right, you want to go right into the center. That's going to be your brightest spot. A little bit more titanium white here. Work it into the center. And any place you want to go. Bring it right up in here. Okay. Nice. Get that hair off of there. Okay. Clean your brush. Keep it clean. Some paper towels I work with here. Okay to set your palette down. No rule. Now, using a clean, dry 2-inch brush. Before I even do that, there's a lot of paint here built up. You can scrape some of this off. Scrape that right off. You don't scrape that off, it's going to be kind of hard to blend. Extra paint off of there. There you go. Just like that. Now take your clean brush here, starting from the center. Just work this out. Starting from the center, just work this out lightly. All right? Don't bring that thing back into the center. All right. I'm going to clean that brush again. Let me take this cover off. I have a container here, 5-gallon. It's just a 5-gallon paint bucket that I put a piece of plastic plumbing pipe in that I can shake this off, and it contains everything right in here. All right, the clean brush, another clean brush. I'm gonna go right through that one more time, starting in the center. All right, and don't overdo. Let those clouds be wispy. All right, done. So from the summit of Mount Starr King, there's nothing on Waumbek. It's a mile further away, 100 feet higher, there's nothing there. Come back to Starr King. What you can see from Starr King Mountain is the ridge line of Mount Washington, the whole presidential line. So let's take a little bit of black, put it in here, a little Prussian blue right there. Mix these together. I'm going to stay more to the blue side. I'm just mixing black and blue together here. And you have to decide, depending on where you're standing, where Mount Washington is. Mount Washington. It's right here. There you go. There's Mount Washington. We don't want jagged peaks, so don't Charlie Brown it here. So you're on Mount Washington. You're coming over. Come up. You're up onto clay right here. Right, clay. A little further over. Here, a little top line. You might get yourself into Jefferson, right about there. All right, not too sharp. I don't want these too high or too sharp. This is pretty far in the distance here. Come up Jefferson, come down, walk across the AT, get over here. Let's go up to Adams, right over here somewhere. Little Adams, Madison Spring Hut, Madison. I'm over here, and I don't know, go down Valley Way, right down Appalachia here. There's a trailhead. Leave these knife marks on here. They'll help you with your peaks and valleys. On this side, you've climbed down here. Let's say you're maybe Monroe's right here. We don't want to do this. It's a little too steep from the distance that you have, but you can, bring that across here. Lakes of the Clouds Hut, you're up to Monroe, Little Monroe, Ben Franklin. Nobody even cares. And you're over here. Let's get Mount Eisenhower in right here. Big moonscape that is. So you've got Eisenhower in right about there, a little bit more. Okay, come across the ridge line. You'll be over to Pierce. It's over here someplace. It's called Pierce now. Used to be called Clinton. Mount Clinton. DeWitt Clinton, not Bill. Then you're off into the Highland Center parking lot over here. You're not doing Jackson or Webster today. You did it last week when you went to Elephant Head. All right, pull some of this out. leave some of these lines in here. They really help with your peaks and valleys. You brush this out too much, it'll look a little bit too plain. Matter of fact, you can let this break down the canvas somewhat. That was breaking here. That'll help you. Okay, I'm gonna clean this knife off. You wouldn't have a ton of highlights on here, but let's put a few on. Let's just pull out a little bit of titanium white right here. Just pull it out. And let's just let some of this break down the mountain here. Yeah, it doesn't have to be, you don't want it to be perfect. Come in here vertically. All right, pull a little bit down over here. Just a little bit down over here. The sun's kind of here. You know what? Because the sun is where it is, there might be some here too. Right into the valley down here. Ravine. And on the Tuckermans. I'm going to pull some of this down here this way too. Still, we have some sun here, so we can bring some of that across the top. Go through here, let it break on the bottom. All right. One of these. You're done, Tuckermans. Good views. Quite the hike. I'm going to throw a little bit over here on Pierce. This little guy right here. Let some of these break down here. Now, okay, a little bit on Jefferson. Why not? A little bit on Jefferson. Doesn't have to come right to the top either. This is a little snow. Let these things come down into the ravines. A little King Ravine, maybe. Yeah, Manusak on the other side. Pull some of these down. Pulling these mostly to the right or straight down. Not a lot here. This is really getting off into the distance. So just let some of this. Some of these go down in here to the foothills. All right. Okay. Now on the other side here, where there's a little bit more shadow, I'll take some of this white. Pull it out down here. Add a little this blue-black mixture to it. A little too much. A little more white. Yeah, I just grounded myself right there, huh? Get rid of that. Pull that over here. Yeah, you know, that might look okay. We'll pull some of that down. And on this side here, we'll just pull a couple of things down. Right into that valley there. Right in. The valleys. Make sure you stop and get water. All right. You know what I'm talking about. Every time you get to a hut, you top off. Yeah, and the worse you make that look, probably the better it is. And here's the thing that you can do. Let me pull some of this over here. Just a little bit right in here. Here's the thing you can do. If you put all this on here and you say, geez, you know, I think I've got too much color on there. You can always put a little bit of this back in again. Go right over it. All right, just let it, see that? That helps. Darken that ravine up right there. Darken that guy up there too. You play with it back and forth. Play with it till you get it. There's no time limit here. Look at how much more depth you got right there. Put some more in this ravine over here. Right here. Maybe that's the Caps Ridge Trail right there. I don't know. Pull some of that down like that. Okay? That gives it a little bit more depth. Okay. If you don't like these peaks, you can always make them even flatter, but it's kind of far away, so don't make them too big. Pull this out. Constantly cleaning this stuff off. At the bottom, down here, because you're standing up here, there's going to be some mist down here. So I would take a little bit, just a little bit of that titanium white, a little bit in the top corner of your brush here. And right where these come together, not in a perfectly straight line or anything, you know. Work this. Now, I've done everything I could to make this easel stable, but it's just not. I'm going to clean my brush. Brush some of this out here. Brush it out, brush it up a little bit, right into the mountain. Try to make that mountain look like it's floating there. You don't want to lose your, foothills down here though. Don't do too much. Okay. Okay. Now, when you're up here, you're on top of Mount Starr King, looking down into the valley. You'd have to climb down 2,000 feet and then back up 4 more to get to this over here. So, from where I'm standing on Starr King Mountain, I'm just going to take a fan brush and mix a little bit of this color together. I use this blue, mostly blue, some of this black, and a little touch of phthalo green here. Not too much green. This is kind of a winter thing. But a little bit would be in there. I help darken it up, and I mean, they are evergreens after all. Okay. Get right into this pile. I have a bigger brush. It's a number 3 fan brush. Right here. Now we're going to let's throw a tree right here. Well, that's why my guy lives there. And work him out. Just work him back and forth. Work him back and forth. Right. If you want your tree to be a little more spindly, leave more space in here. A little further down. Right about there, it looks good. Now, because you're on the top of the mountain, you see this. And you're thinking, these are just little trees. Right? These are just little trees. But you'd be mistaken. What this is the tops of the trees from the ravine below. So let's just put some tree tops in here. So this is this tree, but over the cliff. Let's throw a few in here. Let's put a few in here. You can string some things, doesn't matter. All right. Depends on how busy that's looking today. I'll bring these right over here. Right over. Many or few as you want. They're just tree tops. Don't get yourself too far up in here though, because you want that distance. As it gets over here, maybe these tree tops are a little taller. And where this one's sitting on the ground here, you might have a few sitting right on the ground here. I'll show you that depth in a minute. You'll see what I mean. I'll put a guy right over here. He's just right here. Fill him right in. Keep him dark. Keep him dark. This guy dark. Okay. Now, because you're up on top of the mountain here, let me show you what happens. I'm not going to wash that brush out. I'm going to use it again. Let me show you what happens. You're on top. You should grab this right here. Grab this snow. And this will give you an automatic reflection into the snow. Now you can see your treetops a little bit more. Okay. Bring that guy right down. Bring this guy right down too. That tree standing right there. Clean your brush. I'm going to pull a little bit more white snow in here. Just a little bit more. And a little crisscross strokes so that you can, some shadows. Pull it right down, pull it right down. A little more white. Do as much or as little as you want here. Okay. So you're standing here. You're on the cliff, and you're looking down. Now, the other anomaly with this particular hike is that there used to be a cabin right over here. There's a cabin. It's not there anymore. The only thing that's left is the stone hearth from that cabin. You know what? I'm going to throw another tree in here. Another guy right about there. I'm going to fill in the little side of the mountain here so we don't see that. There. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now, so make yourself a little cabin. You have to decide how far back is that cabin going to sit? Big decision. Where's your cabin going? We don't know. We don't know. How far is it going up? We don't know. So you got to make this up because there's no cabin there anymore. Well, the first thing you want to do is take that dark mixture and let's put in, I don't know, let's put in a gable end. Let's say it's right here. There's the gable, my cabin. All right. Now we're going to pull this wall down here. Jeez. Pull this wall straight down, like so. Straight into here. Look at the other side of the wall. Pull that right into. The front wall of my cabin. Like that. All right, starting to see something? Now I'm going to take this and scrape out where I think my roof would be. Right about like that. Okay? Kind of have an idea where the roof is. Let's take some more of this down here and make sure this is nice and black in the back here. Nice and dark. This will be the front of the cabin. This is going to be the back side right here. So keep that dark. I have more than one palette knife going, so I'm going to take this here is a little bit of this blue, a little bit of white, and blue mixture that I have here. A little more blue. This is Prussian blue. Mix some of this together. Leave it marbled. And we're going to pull this right across this roof. Right. I want to be able to see that back edge better. Right here. Yeah, there we go. Back edge. Front edge. Just like so. I got my roof on here, my little cabin. Wipe this knife out. On the front edge, I want to put a little white right here. Just a little bit of snow right on the edge of that there. Maybe even a little bit right here for now. Okay. Now, because this is the front of the cabin here, I think I'll pull a little bit of, I want to make that just a little bit lighter than the side. So pull out that blue mixture you used for the roof. I'll tell you what, you ground yourself so fast. Be real careful here. And I would take some of this and pull it right down the front. Don't touch that gable. Just pull that right down the front like so. A little darker, yeah. A little darker than the, pull that side in like that. And the side in like this. All right, there's the front of my cabin. I think, now, if you want to put more snow on the roof, no big deal. Wipe out your knife. You go straight into some titanium white here. Just straight titanium white. Get yourself a little bit more. You've already got some blue on the roof. Very light touch. And that's snow right there. It's sticking. It'll be sticking to the roof. Just like so. Matter of fact, I'll even take it out a little further. Like that. Now I'm thinking that if this was my cabin, I would want, I probably want to have a fire going in there. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's scrape out, I don't know, a window. Right here. Scrape out another one right here. Yeah. You put your windows, you don't have to have windows. You don't have to have doors. You don't have to have anything. This is my little cabin though, so I'm going to have this stuff in here. I'm going to take some, I have a small brush here. If I can find my small brush. Here it is. This is a number 2 flat bristle. I'm going to take some alizarin crimson right here. I'm going to put that right in that window. Just like that. You can do that with a knife. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I just want some crimson in here. Yeah, just like that. Now what you can do to make it look like that there's a fire in there, you can put a little bit of this cad yellow. Let me get some white. Just a bit of white here. A little bit of white. A little bit of cad yellow. Pull that up from the bottom. Yeah, okay. You can't do it much. You can't go back. If you go right back in there, your brush is too dirty. Some paint on here. Pull it up from the bottom. It looks like there's a little something going on inside there. I suppose if you had a fire going on inside there, you'd probably need a chimney. Probably need a chimney. Let's just use some of this white for a chimney right here. This is chimney. Yeah, something like that. A little white right in here. Good chimney. He's got a good chimney. Oh, it's more snow on my roof. Glob it in there. Looks good. Suppose if I had a chimney, I'd probably have something coming out of the top of it. Some smoke. And some smoke coming out of my chimney. So I get a little bit of this white. Let's bring it right over here. There you go. You got something going on. You could even put a little bit more in here, right here, so you can see it. There. The back of your chimney. Back of your chimney here would be darker, but you've already got these colors. Maybe I can put a little blue on it right here. There'll be a little shadow right here. Yeah, there's the back of my chimney. I want to define the side of my house a little bit better here. Just a little definition. Okay. It's a good little cabin, sitting up on top of the mountain. I don't know, I'm just thinking. I don't know, I'm thinking if I had a cabin, I'd want a porch, but leave that up to you. I think I'm going to put one in, though. I think I'm going to put the bottom of my porch right here. Just like that. I'm out here, put a little porch roof on. Right there. And that porch roof. Look at some columns to hold that guy up. Put the roof on here. Fill that in a little bit. Okay. A little porch roof. Put some of that blue back in. A little bit of this blue right back in here. Okay. And I'll put some snow back up on the roof. You don't have to have your porch. I wanted one. Right, just like that. Because, I mean, you want the view, right? I'll take some of this white, take some of this white, a little bit of this blue. We'll see white, blue. We'll hold the porch up right here. Can't see it. Can't see it. Put some of that black in there. A little black. Right there. Now you can see it. There. That's just holding up the side of my porch. Because you'd want to sit out there, right? If you had that view, you'd want that view. Now, I'm thinking, I'm just wondering, what's he got on the side here? Pull some of this out a little bit. Let me just see if I can do this. Okay. Where's my little brush? A little bit of white in this brush here. Just a little white right here. Little dot here, little dot there. Nah, that's just a pile of cordwood sitting beside the house, stacked up, waiting to be burnt, waiting to be burnt. Shoot, probably want to cover that up too. I might want to cover that right up. Put another roof on. I'll put another porch on right here. Little porch right there. Right there. We'll just put use some of this white we have right here. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. That's good enough. Now, let's take that dirty brush that we had here with the Prussian blue in it. All these dark colors. Maybe a little bit more over here. A little more over here. I'm just thinking right here. Maybe there's a tree right here. All right. Could be something there. Could be a little guy right here too, just a small guy. I'm gonna bring these right down. Bring them right on down. Who knows what's in here? I wanted to find that roof a little bit more. I'm thinking that I can't see the back edge of it. Right here. Come right on out. There. Yeah. Okay, I like that better. Where was I? Oh, yeah, here. So I got a little something going on in the front here. How about we do this? Right here. Right there. Probably should have used the number 6 for this. Number 3 right here. Big tree there. Big guy. Big guy. I'm going to take him all the way down. Going all the way down. Okay. A little more black, a little more blue, just brush mix. Black and blue, black and blue. Blue and black, whichever color you want. Bring this right down. Right into the snow. Could have used a 2-inch brush for this thing, it's so big. Right? All the way down. All right. There's a big guy right there. Let's throw some, I like the snowfield back here. Leave that. Let's do this. Let's throw some shrubs right in the front here just to block that in. I use a little black, a little blue. Put this in here. Before I finish that off, I'm going to pull some of this snow over here. There we go. Underneath the porch, be a little shadow right there. Little shadow here. All right. Just because of the way that sun's coming. Clean that brush. Where was I? I was putting stuff in here. A little black, a little blue. Decide what you want. Maybe something there, I don't know. Could be something. Could be something. Stuff fly all over the place. Let it fly. All right, that filled that right in nice. Okay. I'm gonna take this knife here, a little bit of this white, a little bit of blue. Pull that out. I think right here. You might see a couple tree trunks in there. Some other stuff coming up out of the ground. Just throw that in. Don't work hard at it, just throw it in there. I'll tell you, sometimes the harder you try, worse it looks. Just throw that stuff in there. A little bit of white, a little bit of blue, a little bit of white and blue. Little tree trunk here. All right, little tree trunk right there. Little guy here. One here. Pull some of this stuff out. There's all kinds of dead things here. Could have pulled some stuff out of here too, it didn't matter. There's other little trees sticking up right here. We don't know. We don't know. It was pretty good. All right, so let's do this. Let's take some, I would like to put some snow on the trees. A little snow here and there. Let's get into, where's my magic white? We'll get a little magic white right here. A little magic white, because it's, it's looser. It's looser. Put a little bit of that blue in it. You don't want this, you don't want the snow to be too bright. It won't look right. We'll throw a little bit on here. A little bit of snow right here. All right. A little snow on the trees. Work that down. A little snow on this guy down here. You can pile it up on the branches over here too. All right, just a little snow. A little on this guy here. I'm just using the corner of the brush to throw a little bit of snow on there. Okay, a little bit more of that magic white. They call it liquid white now. Just thins the paint down a little bit. Just thins it down. Corner of the brush, corner of the brush. Start from the outside. A little snow across there. Okay. Yeah. I like that. A little more out here. On these branches. Leave a lot of that dark. Leave a lot of that dark. You get rid of that dark, it won't look like there's anything. It won't have any depth to it. I'm just reloading with liquid white. A little bit more here. It's blue, white, blue and white. Maybe a little bit out here. Why not? A little bit here. How much dirt it picks up from underneath there. Okay. I'm gonna clean that brush. I'm going to take a 1-inch brush. I think a little more of that magic I always called it magic white because that's what it used to be called. A little bit of titanium, a little bit of blue here, a lot of paint. I need a lot of paint on the brush. Not enough paint, a lot of paint. I need a little bit more of this. Pull some of this white right out. Right out. And just starting from the top of the bush. Just let it work down a little bit. And as it loses paint coming from the top down, it'll get darker. We want it to get darker as it goes down. Start from the top of the bush here. Pick whichever guy you want, right here. Work him down. Just work him down. All right? A lot of snow, a lot of snow. Look how dirty that is already. Turn it sideways. Get a little bit down here. Okay? Don't make it look too perfect. It won't look right. A little bit on the top. Yeah. A little bit out of the. Okay. A little more. A little more right here on this guy here. Yeah. A little snow laying in there. Leave that dark in there. You got a little bit here on this guy here. Just tapping. Just a little bit. You want that to pull right off of there. Okay. Maybe a little bit over here. Who knows? All right, so this is our view from the top of Starr King Mountain, looking out over the ridge line. We have a little cabin in here. We have some cordwood stacked up. The fire's going, the guy's hanging out, and that's what he's doing. All right, thanks for joining me. So next time, we'll see if we can't do something with a fiery red sunset. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do next. Thank you.